Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News, here in the mobile studio setup. We're running some errands here for my family, and I thought I'd jump on and give you an update on the forensic scientist who proved that there was no tampering in the laptop of Michael Maricini. What this means is, if you have not stumbled onto the story, is there's a paternity case involving Clayton Echard and his accuser, who Clayton alleges that the accuser has made up cancers now and accused that she has made up being pregnant. And now we have evidence sent from the accuser in 2016 to Michael Maricini on his laptop. She denies she ever claimed she had ovarian cancer, and this forensic scientist hired by you guys, the audience of Bachelor Nation, with a $3,000 GoFundMe. You guys ended up raising a lot more than that. All proceeds go to Michael Maricini. You guys have helped prove that this claim does exist. So we're going to get into what the hell went down here. Now, could she claim someone hacked into her computer again? Maybe. She could make that claim. Forensic analyst finds no evidence of tampering with Michael Maricini text evidence. I'm just going to read this for you. It's 4 pages long. It's fascinating, and it involves all of the descriptions as to why they came to this conclusion. And you have to remember, was this forensic expert hired by Mike Maricini? Yes. Are they still considered third party? And if they could have found evidence that there was tampering, I'm sure they would have shared it, because as an expert, you need to have your reputation on the line. Put it this way. If you hire an expert and they just randomly want to agree with you, well, if it's obvious that they're wrong, the other side can hire their own expert and disprove them, and then that expert would lose credibility. So as far as John Berryhill is concerned, it is very important for him to show the evidence that supports why he believes there was no tampering of this laptop. And if you think this is nitpicky, it is, but this is the type of nitpickiness that is needed. You got to cross your T's and dot your I's when dealing with a litigious Lexi. Here's what he said. I, John Berryhill, declare I am president and COO of Berryhill Computer Forensics, a firm which specializes in the collection, preservation, analysis, and presentation of digital evidence, including computer hard drives, flash media, smartphones, and other digital data. Our methods are court-proven and ensure the integrity of the evidence in the chain of custody. The facts set forth in this declaration are based on my personal knowledge, and if called as a witness, I could and would testify thereto. I hold a Bachelor of Science degree from Lamar University in Engineering Computer Science and a Master of Science degree from the American Public University System with a concentration in digital forensics. I received training in computer evidence handling, analysis, and special investigations in the Air Force Special Investigations Academy, and I have been working in the field of computer forensic investigations for more than 29 years. I have led computer forensic investigations for law firms, major corporations, and small businesses, as well as for the United States Air Force. As a major in the USAF, I was a special agent in the Air Force Office of Special Investigations, investigating crimes such as Central Systems fraud, homicide, theft, child, and counterintelligence. I have also worked extensively with the California Department of Justice Advanced Training Center, serving as an instructor, curriculum developer, and teaching certified computer crime investigations courses. I have testified 55 times as an expert in computer forensics in the Superior Court of the State of California, other state courts, United States district courts, and military courts in both civil and criminal cases. Additionally, I have provided 33 expert depositions. Well, what does all this mean? This guy ain't effing around. You want to F around? You're going to find out. You want to F around? You're going to find out. Did Jane Doe F around and lie about having cancer? Let's find out. Since being in private practice, and by the way, he's not going to say whether or not the medical evidence is real. As we're going to go to Jane Doe's affidavit, she goes, look, that's all fake. And everyone goes, we know the evidence is fake. The point is, it came from your device. Whether you created it, whether your mom did, whether you hired someone on Fiverr, it came from your device. Since being in private practice, and by the way, when it comes to the credibility, you gotta show off your LinkedIn here. You got to show what you've done. This is someone who served our country and has a ton of expertise in the court system as an expert. Since being in private practice, I have conducted examinations of computer hard drives and other devices containing private and confidential information in more than 1,230 cases in which I was entrusted with individuals' personal data, corporate internal data and communications, financial data, privileged attorney-client information, trade secret information, patent and pending patent applications, and confidential research and development information. These cases have included a broad spectrum of issues and parties, ranging from individuals involved in personal and financial disputes to multi-million-dollar corporate litigation. My experience in conducting computer forensics analysis has included the analysis of more than 3,490 computer hard drives and more than 6,900 floppy disks, tapes, CD-ROMs, smartphones, and other digital media. Oh, he's been around for so long, he knows what a floppy drive is. I think a lot of our audience don't know what a floppy drive is, but I remember the days. Since being in private practice, I have provided computer forensic analysis and support to many local, state, and federal law enforcement. Okay, all of that, it shows the FBI, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, sheriffs, all of the different departments that he has worked with. Okay, do we have credibility? Let's move it on. Background. This office was contacted by Michael Maricini, who requested that his personal computer be processed as evidence pertaining to ongoing litigation for which he is a witness. Specifically, he requested text messages and related attachments from Jane Doe using the phone number redacted to be extracted, documented, and analyzed for any evidence of tampering. On May 4th, and by the way, on my end, this came about, I believe, Saturday morning. We were like, all right, we need to get an expert in here to show that this is real. We know it's real. We want to do justice. We want to make sure that there's, and a lot of times you don't hire these experts because you just can't afford it. And when the expert said he was $2,750, boom, done. Let's do it. We raised money that night. That's on you guys. You guys did that. Victory lap. The computer, on May 4th, 2024, May the 4th, Saturday, the computer designated evidence item BCF 1237, an Apple MacBook Air Model A 1466, was hand delivered by Michael Maricini to the BCF office. That's right, Michael drove over an hour to drop this off. On the spot, he's got a wife, he's got a kid, he did this because he wants justice. And he was very confident. He didn't mess around. The computer was released to Michael Maricini on May 6, 2024, with the recommendation that it remain out of service and securely stored until the conclusion of any pending or potential litigation. I love the smart words here, you know what I mean? This guy's clearly Air Force. He's like, your computer needs to remain out of service. I'm like, so don't scrap it or do scrap it? What do you want me to do? Analysis and process. Full forensic image copy was created using Celebrite Digital Collector version 3.7. A full acquisition log is maintained in the BCF files. All right, this is all the nerd stuff. All right, it's just nerd stuff. Noted during the forensic imaging processor that the computer's internal clock read 3/9/2017 when actual date was May 4th, 2024. This is an indicator that the computer has not been in regular service for some time. The Apple OS X has default settings to keep the internal clock and calendar updated when the machine is connected to the internet. Okay, guys, this is so good. So the machine, what he's saying is, hasn't been connected to the internet since 2017. And we know that, or I can tell you this, I think Michael was nervous to even open his laptop because he was afraid the iMessages were going to go away. There's iMessages. Sometimes you have them set so that they delete every few years. Your computer doesn't hold on to all the storage. He was like, I know it's in here, and rather than mess around, let's just get it to someone who can back it up and all that. Findings. Okay, do you guys want to know the findings? Let's go to the findings. All text messages and associated attachments from Jane Doe were tagged and produced in a standard Celebrite Inspector report. The report was produced as a single 2,489-page PDF document with links to the associated attachments. The report is identified with the date time marker 2024-54. This report and attachment file structure was provided to Mr. Maricini and Mr. Woodnick via a Dropbox link. Note that all times referenced in the report are in UTC. For the items of interest in the August-September 2016 timeframe, to convert to Pacific Standard Time, subtract 7 hours from UTC. I have examined the file structure and continuity of the text message streams and associated attachments found on this computer. I find no evidence of tampering or alterations that would question the authenticity of the messages included in my report. I was asked to address the allegations that Mr. Maricini fabricated evidence in the matter. In reviewing the material, one of the items of interest is a photo of a paper report from Planned Parenthood referencing Jane Doe. This photo is attached to a text. Let's go to the next one here. Message to Michael Maricini. The internal metadata of this photo shows it was taken August 10th, 2016 from an iPhone 6. The location tracking was turned off for this photo. Analysis of other photos found on the evidence computer show photos that I believe were taken by Mr. Maricini around the same date. Those photos were taken with an iPhone 6S. This is one of many examples that refute any allegations of fabrication. Similarly, there are creation dates on the screenshots PNG files from around August to September 2016 timeframe that show the screenshots were captured prior to when they were attached to their various text messages. If requested, I can extract all the metadata for all the associated pictures and screenshots. I have confirmed with Mr. Maricini by an examination of several photos that he confirmed he took with his phone in the months both before and after August 2016 that his phone at the time was an iPhone 6S. As a further example of the continuity and authentication of the presented evidence, I've extracted the metadata associated with the 7 text messages attached listed below. The items listed show the page number from the PDF report. All right, so this is really good stuff. He said, I've examined a sample of other attachments to text messages on other dates from Jane to Maricini. In no case did I find any evidence that contradicts this narrative. I have found no evidence of tampering in any material related to this case and believe the text messages as shown in the Celebrate PDF report accurately depict the text communications between Mr. Maricini and Jane Doe on the dates and times indicated. All right. And again, my belief is that the 2,500 page PDF document is all of the nitty-gritty lines of code that line up what he claims was on his laptop versus the actual code. I don't know how it all works on the back end. If Jane Doe's attorney wants to challenge his expert report, I'm sure the money would be raised to get him to the deposition or get him, there in person if need be. Now, why is this important? Well, there was evidence of fraud committed by Jane Doe in 2016. This evidence involves multiple emails that were received by Mike Maricini, where she claims she had ovarian cancer. I'm going to show you her affidavit, which says she never sent this. But what I can tell you right now is an expert opinion that has served for the United States Air Force, who has all the credentials in the world with computer science degrees and backgrounds, and has done this with hundreds, if not thousands of cases, says right now that Jane Doe, from her email, from her phone number, sent this attachment. Who made this? We don't know. It's absolutely fake. The names, there's typos, there's different fabrications where there's things that are off. Just from a qualitative standpoint, every doctor we've spoken to said there's no way they would send an email like this. And of course, the last paragraph, you can let him, your boyfriend Mike Maricini, know that your diagnosis and treatment have been complicated by your pregnancy, which on its own has been extremely difficult and unusual. I would strongly encourage him to change his attitude and support you at this time. I sincerely hope things get better. Jane Doe has been accused of fabricating documents sent from her an attorney named Joe Cotchett. She's been accused of so many different things. I'm going to share some of them with you, but these are the messages, and again, these have all been authenticated. Messages from Jane Doe to Mike Maricini. I got this. This was sent to me here. This is nice. Some podcaster, Pond Scum with a new baby. Isn't that cute? So this was some great work done by Bruce the Moose, which is the ultrasound timeline, which I'll share with you in a second. But let's go to the affidavit. So this is from Jane Doe. Of course, their bluff was called. They swore through, threats of perjury that they were telling the truth. And now a computer forensics expert has said these text messages were sent from Jane. So who's lying here? Now, I think most people believe Jane is. She said, I'm aware that counsel served a document Among other things attached to Mr. Eckert's supplemental disclosures were certain documents which purported to be my medical records. Under penalty of perjury, I swear each of the following things are true. I have never had, nor have I ever claimed to have ovarian cancer. I have never had, nor have I ever claimed to have an ovary removed. Many years ago, I was diagnosed with PCOS, and she goes on and on about how she has both of her ovaries, and she'd ever claimed that she didn't. She says, I have no idea who created the fake records attached. Exhibit A. All I can say is that I did not create them. I have no idea who did, and I never sent them to anyone else because I have never seen these documents. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you believe this expert who served in the United States Air Force, or do you believe Jane Doe? That's what it's going to come down to, right? And I guess the judge is going to have to decide. Do we believe the expert whose funds were raised in a grassroots effort to get the truth exposed, or do we believe Jane Doe and her lawyer who thinks we're all part of some crazy cult? Are we all part of a crazy cult, or are we all part of a group of people who in our DNA want justice? That's the question. So Bruce the Moose made this. Here are the different ultrasounds that have, I guess, come from Jane Doe. She denies some of these. Ultrasound timeline, the Fiverr, sent to Greg Gillespie around August 8th, 2021. Greg found the original version online in a years-old blog. Not only do we have we vet this, but we listened to the audio, which was Jane Doe saying, hey, zoom in on it. Well, sadly for her, we zoomed in on it and found a Fiverr logo on April 25th, 2024. Myself and Megan Fox, with the help of the comment section, found a Fiverr logo on the image. Again, this image also originated in a blog where someone lost their child that was pictured in this image. That person has, I believe, retained counsel and spoken with Woodnick Law about any possible letters or things they need to write to say, this is wrong, you cannot steal my baby's ultrasound. Number 2, The Ghost, sent to Clayton Eckert on July 7th, 2023. This image is revealed by Clayton on the Vile File podcast. In a deposition on March 1st, Jane Doe admitted to changing the image provider from Planned Parenthood to Southwest Medical Imaging Labs. So she admitted to medical fraud on this image. Her lawyer, who had previously said, if she ever lies, I'll fire her, has said, you know what? It's okay if she lies every once in a while. Just because she lied on the top part doesn't mean she lied here. So now he's cherry picking which lies are okay. That's just where he's at. But you, like the other lawyers that have left this case, he sort of wishes he passed on it. Or maybe not. Maybe he loves it. What do we know? The Reality Steve, the third ultrasound. Reality Steve received an Instagram video from Jane Doe dated September 5th, 2023. The flock found the original version from 6 years prior on YouTube. I lined up the original and the Jane Doe version around October 13th, 2023 to demonstrate they were the same. Yes, they are the same. She has argued that this image was not hers. This video was uploaded by Greg Gillespie, and she does admit to sending it to Clayton, but she maybe mistakenly sent it to him and thought, okay, BS, right? Number 4, The Sister, and this is the most recent one. The Sister. I received a sonogram photo on October 12th, 2023. In my opinion, this photo that I received is the sort of dagger in this whole case. Dave, Neal, Megan Fox, and IT Goatee Brad find evidence of image manipulation. Theories include that the image is either entirely or partially a sonogram sourced from Jane Doe's sister, and that her first name was removed. There are I don't know, probably about a dozen aspects of blatant photoshopping that went down here, but the most egregious is knowing that the image probably is real and was probably texted to Jane Doe from her sister earlier in the year, as her sister just had a baby who was a boy, who is what Jane Doe says is in this photo, a boy. Anyway, that's where that all stands. As of this weekend, Jane Doe's attorney has said there is no October ultrasound and argues that I created this. Now, just so you guys know, I'd be happy to work with the forensic expert to prove that wrong, although I don't think I need to. I think I can hold on to that information. I received an email early October from Jane Doe, and you might say, Dave, that's not true. You created this email in May of 2024. not only did I receive the email in early October, I also sent copies of that email to different people, which means I'm not the only one with the timestamp that email showed up in October, where she claimed to be over 20 plus weeks pregnant. Guys, let me just say this. If you're going to do what you're doing, Jane Doe, just, own up to it when you get called out. Don't do the whole my dog ate my homework. Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. Don't do that. Just own up to it. You get caught. I never said that. We called your bluff. Good, honest people put their money up. Ponied their money up. Why? So that we could make this video right now, letting you know you fucked up. That's all I got. I'll be back to the studio tomorrow. Thank you guys all so much for the love. If you're still listening, go to my wife's Instagram page and wish her a happy birthday. It's Tasha Courtney on Instagram. Go shower her with love. I just bought her a cake pop here from Starbucks, so I'm going to go back to the hospital right now after running some errands and go shower my family with love. But thank you guys so much. I'll be live either later today or tomorrow on Patreon introducing the new king of the household. You'll get that information later, patreon.com/Dave Neal. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you for your belief in justice, and let's continue the pursuit.